Welcome to secondary steelmaking course. Today I am going to talk about circulation degassing methods. In the last class I was talking about stream degassing methods, ladle degassing methods such as AOD process, and which is one of the tank or vessel degassing type methods. It is also called as a tank degassing methods. And VOD process, vacuum oxygen decarburization process. Even vacuum is added to reduce the carbon level to further level. It is also one of the tank type degassing process. These tank type degassing process cannot reach to the such a expectancy of hydrogen and nitrogen level of reducing. The excess hydrogen and excess nitrogen is not accepted even few applications. For example, if excess hydrogen is present, immediately this hydrogen forms hydrates. Even though hydrogen nitrogen has very low solubility in solidified steel, but if unstable hydrate is formed when it is coming in exposure with the atmosphere during the continuous casting process, it forms H2 gas. This leads to the pinhole defect in a product. And another aspect of nitrogen, the nitrogen forms stable carbide. The stable carbides leads to stress corrosion cracking during the deformation process, such as hot working, cold working process. So since it is unstable and stable carbides, stable forms of nitrate and hydrates forms, this excess need to be removed. So how do you do? So the best method which is chosen is circulation of degassing methods. The vacuum chamber is situated at the top. For example, one of the process such as RH degassing process, this is the vacuum chamber which is refractory lined and continuously cooling. There will be a cooling chamber also. This is the heating rod which is helpful to increase the temperature around 20 to 40 degrees Celsius temperature, which is helpful at continuous casting process, that is heating process. This is from ear to ear, this is one leg, and from ear to ear it is called another leg. Technically in RH degassing process it is called snookle. It is two snookle process. From the side you are sending certain provision of sending the argon. This particular argon gas bubbles interact with the primary steel making molten metal and it forms a bubbles and it rises and it expands into the chamber. It forms kind of a droplets. These droplets are free from the hydrogen. It is recirculated by these directions as it is shown. It is recirculated to the again this particular ladle. This particular plug is, while taking out this particular molten steel after entire degassing is finished, it will be taken to the continuous casting section. From this particular plug to taken into the tundish, and from the tundish to continuous casting molds it is been passed. That is the advantage. Now let me emphasize few important points. What are those particular things? Under the circulation degassing process, one of the process is RH degassing process. Nowadays it is under practice. Still it is practiced. The meaning of Ruhr Stahl is nothing but one of meaning of steel in Germany. Ruhr is one plant, and this is Eres is a location where this particular degassing process is developed. And there was another process called two places in Germany, Dormton and Oder. This is another degassing methods. This particular degassing method is mainly used for homogenizing the composition whatever the composition was there in the primary steel making, just adjusting for the alloying addition and temperature adjustment, this DH process is used. But these advantages also included in the RH process. This DH process is under practice in many of the plants since its use is there in RH degassing process. Please make a note. In RH degassing process, remember few points. The lifting gas used in RH degassing process is argon, and this particular chamber can be heated to a temperature range up to 1500 degrees Celsius temperature, minimum of 900, and 100 ton of steel can be refined, and hydrogen and nitrogen level can be brought to nitrogen level to 3 to 6 ppm, hydrogen level to 30 to 60 ppm can be brought down at a rate of 12 tons per meter nearly 20 minutes. That is one of the advantage of RH degassing process. That is why most of the people for rail steels production, where it needs to have very low hydrogen. For that, for those kind of steels, train track steels making into the continuous rods that requires circulation degassing methods, it finds suitable application. And 90% of gases, it could be the carbon, even oxygen and nitrogen, hydrogen are reduced, removed or brought to a very low level in the RH degassing process. And it is quite possible by using RH degassing process, you can add alloying addition, you can adjust the temperature, you can adjust the chemical composition, you can blow oxygen and further reducing the carbon. This oxygen will interact with the carbon and gives rise CO and further CO2. Carbon is also reduced, decarbonation for the production of low carbon steels. It is much suitable. And coming to the DH degassing process, this was the ladle, stopper, plug. Further continuous casting process, once it is degassed, it will be lifted off. It is taken into the tun dish, from the tun dish to continuous casting mold. This is primary steel making molten metal ladle, and from year to year it is called a leg, single snorkel leg. And this particular chamber, refractory line chamber, is DH degassing vessel, DH vessel, refractory lined. This is heating element, mainly nickel chrome elements are used and heated, and for getting the temperature adjustment, this particular it has the gases which are evolved will be go out from this particular exhaust in the form of CO, hydrogen gas and nitrogen gas will go to the ambient temperatures, ambient gases. There is a special provision of additions, alloying additions. For example, if you want to add some molybdenum, if you want to add titanium additions, you can add. There is a provision. This particular, and it is been dipped into the molten steel. This is the level of DH vessel, and DH vessel will come to this much and it will be taken it out. It is motion of up and down motions. By the way, this particular molten steel will go into the DH vessel and it is vacuum, it is subjected under the vacuum, it is degassed. Some amount of hydrogen and nitrogen levels are reduced. Again it is been when it is been coming down, this will, when it is going up, this particular molten metal will come down here. When it is coming down, this molten metal will go here. These particular cycles are repeated number of times. It needs 30 to 40 cycles to remove some amount of nitrogen and hydrogen. This is broad process of DH degassing. It is mainly adjusting the hydrogen and nitrogen composition. And coming to the this particular DH degassing process, very the time and amount of gases reduced under this particular thing is 10 to 15% when you compare with RH degassing process. The main principle involving in DH degassing process is the chamber, DH vessel chamber is moved up and down, so that, and since it is exposed to the vacuum, the gases are removed and composition is adjusted, and it requires 20 to 30, sometimes additional 5 to 10 cycles required for compositional homogenization. Remember these few points and this particular diagram, this logical differences between this RH degassing, DH degassing process. There will be many viva questions and gate examination questions usually appears. For example, in the case of RH degassing process, the snookels are 2. In DH gassing process, snookels are 1. Here lifter gas is argon. Here this DH vessel is moved up and down. No argon lifter gas, and there is a addition of allying additions provision is there, allying addition provision is there, temperature adjust heating rod is there, another again in the DH degassing temperature adjustment is there. There are many differences between RH degassing process and DH degassing process. In a worldwide, many of the integrated steel plants are using as a secondary steel making unit for reducing the hydrogen and nitrogen levels, because the excess nitrogen and excess hydrogen causes the mechanical properties. It shows adverse effect on the mechanical properties. It needs to be reduced. There was another process, just small attachment for the RH degassing process. For example, even further, for a kind of deep drawing steels, there are interstitial free steels. Automobile industry, it requires very low carbon. And how do you achieve very low carbon content in the steel? Carbon, most of the carbon is reduced in the primary steel making unit, and many of the VOD gases, VOD units also, vacuum oxygen decarbonators. But if I need still low carbon, so how do I produce it? By having the provision of vacuum vessel, just like RH degassing units, and addition of oxygen blow, pure oxygen blown, so that CO and CO2 form goes out, so that you can achieve ultra low carbon steels. This is basic difference between RH degassing process, RH OB degassing process, and it is mainly used to produce the ultra low carbon steels. The carbon level can be reached to less than 40 ppm, which is required. Many of the deep drawing process steels, interstitial free steels, automobile applications. And how do you know, for example, before degassing process, how much hydrogen was dissolved in molten metal? After secondary steel making unit, such as circulation degassing process of RH degassing was used, how much hydrogen was reduced, how much nitrogen was reduced? Since it is related to the gases, how do you calculate? The Sievert's law suggests that it gives an empirical relations of equilibrium, the solubility of diatomic gases, O2, H2, N2, all these are diatomic gases. Hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, if you compare the atomic numbers, hydrogen is 1, whereas nitrogen is 7, oxygen is 8, carbon is 6. This carbon is reduced at a level of very low at primary steel making units. Oxygen, by using special deoxidizing units, oxygen is reduced. And coming to the nitrogen, it forms stable nitrates. The stable nitrates forms during the refining process of secondary steel making, such as ladle degassing process, vacuum oxygen process, it can be reduced. But hydrogen, it itself, when even the unstable hydrates are formed in a solid steel also, when it is being exposed to the atmosphere, it forms during even continuous casting process also, it forms phenols. So it need to be reduced. Excess hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and carbon is not suggested because it shows an adverse effect. How do you calculate? It is this Seward's law suggests that the percentage of gas dissolved in the molten steel is equal to K is nothing but equilibrium constant. Since it is the gaseous at ambient temperature, even oxygen, nitrogen, these things enters while pouring the or tapping one ladle to LD converter EAF to ladle. So there is a chances. So this excess need to be reduced. How much it was? Since it is ambient atmosphere, it will be reduced square root. For example, this hydrogen is dissolved in the molten steel and this particular hydrogen gas is going out. How do you calculate? You apply the Henry's law. It is very much suitable since molten gases dissolved in the molten steel, these gases. So that's why you apply the Henry's law. Since it is the gas, you will be taking the partial pressure divided by the interaction coefficient as described by Henry's law. So you can calculate using this procedure. There will be a few numerical problems will be emphasized on this particular topic in the next lecture. Please concentrate on this particular idea and mention, is it this particular following question is true or false? The purpose of entire circulation degassing process such as RH degassing process, DH degassing process is to reduce, mainly hydrogen and nitrogen to very low level, hydrogen to 3 to 6 ppm, nitrogen to 3 to 6 ppm, hydrogen to 30 to 6 ppm. Is it true or false? Please give your opinion as vote. Thank you.